Hi, so today I wanted to talk about the astrological second house in astrology and what it stands for in your birth chart and what elements you can look out for in this particular house. So the second house is the earth house, earth meaning land. It's a material house. It's a house ruled originally by the sign of Taurus. So it is a house all about it's a physical house. And it's all about your wants and your needs in this life. So your basic necessities of life, from shelter to food to water to anything that you essentially basically need to survive, is essential in this house. The first house is about you realizing that you're in this physical world, and it's the house where you learn that you're here and you can affect things. And the second house is where you learn that you can own things, or that you do own things. So it is a house of also your sensuality. It's the house that rules the five senses. So anything you taste, you smell, you hear, you feel, you see, those would all be ruled by the house, the second house in your zodiac chart. So it will tell you a lot about how you have a relationship with this material world. So it's how also resourceful you are, and what talents you are born with, what talents you possess, and how you use those talents in this house to earn money or make money is also another dynamic of the second house. So any planets in the second house or near the second house is definitely going to add a little bit more flavor to the things, to your set of values, to your specific set of values, because this is a house where any planet that is in the second house is going to add, example, if you have Venus in the second house originally, natally, this is somebody that's going to value beauty, value things that can give them beautiful things. So any planet that's here is going to affect the flavor of the things that you do value in a broader perspective. So also to any planets transiting the second house, so any planets making moves around that second house or in that second house, is it's basically bringing an energy of new people, events, or experiences that will affect your personality. That will also, it will affect your personal space, your possessions, and the ability that you have to earn money, the way that you make money. When we think about the second house, you can really just think about how your relationship with money is as well. If you have Pisces on the cusp of the second house, your relationship with money might not really be realistic, depending on, again, what planets you have in that second house. So self-esteem is a big part of the second house. I find that you can really kind of get a sense of the person's self-esteem by looking at the planets that they have in the second house. Also too, self-esteem is something that grows as we get older, as we mature. So even if you have planets in the second house that have not been activated, as you grow, you'll learn, hopefully, to use those planets in helping you to gather more self-esteem in this world. So it's a really big part, because this is a house that rules your early years, your toddler years, when you were younger. So your family and how your family and how your basic needs were provided for when you were a child is a really big part of the second house. So if you have Saturn in the second house, it could mean that your basic needs you probably had to fight, or not really fight, but struggle just to get the basic needs met when you were a child. Growing up, you learn to value things as you get older. With Saturn in the second house, you learn more about your self-value, come more into your self-worth. So these are just examples. So like I said, self-esteem is a big part of this house. So your relationships with the material world, in that which aligns to your belief system and your values and how you feel you should be making money. There's some people that have a lot of planets in the second house and are money magnets. They can attract money, they can make it. And there's some people that have a lot of planets in the second house and don't even know what to do with their natural abilities in making money. And this all comes, again, I say, from experience and what's happening in the birth chart. So I find, because this is a Taurian house and because Taurus rules the throat, whatever you can put in your mouth, whatever you take and you eat. The second house literally is all about the things that you're taking in, as well as in my opinion, from my observation, I feel like the second house is things that you take in to the body as well. So like I was saying about food, and it's also value systems that other people might place on you. Like I said, if Saturn is in the second house, you could have had a rigid value system when you were younger, and learning how to probably detach yourself from this is another element of that second house. So because this is the house, like I said, of Taurus, it is a house of convenience. Taurus love things that are convenient to it. This is a reason why Taurus is so stuck. It's such a fixed sign. So anything that you have in this house, it could be a little hard to break it or to change the cycle of it, because you've been so programmed to believe that this is how I should value this, or this is how I should value that, because of early conditioning, also too because of life experiences that are probably, kind of like humbled you down to probably believe that type of thing. But if you look into your second house, this is the house that is really going to help you at your core value understand what you can bring into this world materialistically by the things that you can create off of just you, off the things that you own, not something that another person is giving you, but just you, what you can create and make. Because Taurus, the element of Taurus also rules like creativity and the talent. So you really want to look at that as well. Like what can you bring? What kind of talents you have that people can pay you for, or that you can make money off of, that can help you. So this house rules, to me, the most essential resource of all, and that would have to be your body. Because Taurus is of the earth, and this is a physical house. So this is going to show you a lot about the body, the physical body, and how the person feels and treats their physical body will let you know from the second or the sixth house how they're dealing with their everyday. So when we think about your most important resource, which is your body, when second house is opposite eighth house in the zodiac. So the original eighth house is the house of Scorpio. And when we think about Scorpio, Scorpio rules other people's money, also ruling other people's body, all the other people's resources. So when we look at the second house in the zodiac chart, your astrological chart, and you're looking at the eighth house, you're looking at your body and what you can provide, and other people's body and how they can provide that, or how these two houses can share and intertwine together. So it's kind of like you have a talent, you have an ability to do something, you go looking for a job, you're going to find another person that can probably pay you or for your services, for your physical body services, and until that's the other person's money going into the earning ability of your talents. So they're giving you the material what we materialistically need in this world, like money. Or it can not only, it depends on what you value. It can be money, it can be belief system, it can be ideas, it can be, it can be anything in your second house, because everyone is very different, very, very different. So what you're trading for that is also another situation here with the second house. It's also about the sharing. So like I said, again, once you're sharing your body with another individual, your work, it doesn't have to be your physical body in terms of sex, because the eighth house also rules sex. So this is a house that can tell you a lot about what somebody's doing with their physical body with another individual as well, in terms of giving and taking, and what they feeling like they're reciprocating and getting. Remember, this is the house of convenience. So you also want to make sure, okay, am I receiving what's valuable with what I'm giving? Do I feel what I'm giving is of value? Do I feel like I'm earning the right amount of money for the service that I'm providing from my talents, from my original born talent? The second house is also the materials in this world that we come into, what's naturally yours, what you possess, what you were born with as a child. If your parents owned a house and they wrote off the house in your name, if they passed, this is a second house asset. It's your resource. If your parents were musicians and they, taught you beautiful things about music, and you learned as you were getting older about music, this is a second house asset that you have, having Neptune in the second house. That can also be another mystical or musical talent of the second house. So I'm trying to think about anything else that I can relate the second house to. Yeah, it's a steadfast house. I would say that because it is earth ruled, so it does take some time, I feel, for this house to develop and earn what it's due, what it's worth. Because also the second house is going to come through the experiences that we have with the physical world, how we view the physical world, what we're looking at, what we feel is a value. Like someone like me that's an astrologer, I'm going to view an astrology book, or I'm going to view, a telescope that I can look at the sky as something very valuable to me. Now, this is like a gold to me, a gold mine to me, because I can see things that I value with the telescope, physically looking into this, into the sky. Another person that is probably an accountant will value something like their calculator or their phone or their bank account. This is the different kind of systems that I can kind of think about to break it down a little bit more. But this is really my astrological take on the second house. It is a house about your self-esteem. Like I said, your value system, how you feel valuable, because this world tends to give this facade that we need material things to feel valuable. And it's not like that for everyone. And the way that you figure this out is by looking into that second house, finding out what's valuable for you, and then utilizing the energy of that house to make things work for you. So this is how we're going to look at the second house when we're looking at your birth chart. If you can find the second house, find the things that are there, even find the planet, the house, the sign that's on the cusp of that second house, that will tell you a lot about the way that you can make money, the way that you can probably help yourself in terms of building more self-esteem as well, to feel more secure in this world. So this is my interpretation of the second house in the zodiac astrological chart. And I hope you enjoy. And if you really resonate with the way that I'm vibing with this energy, our energy vibe, and you would like to do a personal reading with me, I'm leaving my contact information at the bottom. And yeah, so, right, bye.